Yes, crew. I thought I'd make another little video while I'm in here creating these key groups for a track I'm working on. So I mentioned this in the last video. This is another way you can apply filters if you're using your S950 and you know, MIDI sequencer, in this case Octamed. This may differ from system to system, but in this case, if you wanted to create something like this, so here's a little example in live. So we've got a filter sweep at the end there. I'll give it a blast. So something like that. The way we're going to do that in here is I'm going to copy the last key group that I made. And we'll just go through. We're going to put the portion of the amen break that we want there. Now I know it's this one 4, that's the one I chopped from the snare. I'm going to put it on its own key. And then the next thing I need to do is, now I'm just going to, this is something that you would play around with to find your sweet spot. But I'm going to stick the filter on 26. I'm taking the envelope off. So I'm going to set that to 0 so that that's not affecting our filter at all. And then we're going to go to this page here. And what we're going to do is, at the moment, the velocity by default is set to loudness. So obviously, then you can program your velocity in Octamed, but I'm turning that off and I'm going to put the filter on maximum. Which means now over in Octamed, let's see if we can shimmy over there. Can I bring the camera? Yeah, let's try it. You ready? Let's go. So here we are in Octamed. So if you're familiar with Octamed a little bit, you'll know that in order to program velocity, you have to use this C command, and then you set your values accordingly. It's a little bit of trial and error. This works for me. So you got between 0 and 64 to play around with, and you can go in whatever increments you like depending on what you're going for. But like I say, this works for me. So I'm going from, you know, I'm starting at 30, starting at 30 and ending at 60, and I'm going in increments there: 32, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and that gives me this. Yeah, so that is how you do that. I'll just give you a little blast actually. So the other things I've got in this key group, and this would be the same, I guess, you know, however you were chopping up, or wherever I should say, wherever you're chopping up your amen, you might want to think about having these different chops. So I've got one from the kick there, another one from the other kick, so you get that. Yeah, you got those to play with. And I've got the kick and crash. I've also got one from the snare there, and then I've got some pitched ones for some of that goodness. And then the last one we did there with the filter on it, and then this one that you can't hear, but this is the one that's giving us that sweep. Now, I mean, there's a bunch you could do. There's a load of different places you can chop that amen from as well. But I've also got some stretchy ones in here. You know, some of that goodness. And yeah, like I say, there's a bunch of other ones you could do. Maybe we'll look at some of those another time. But I'm going to leave that there. If anyone's got any, you know, questions, anything they would be interested in me covering or having a look at, or even on Ableton. I do use Ableton for other stuff, and I have had a play around using Ableton in the same way I would use hardware, which is good fun. If anyone's interested in having a look at that, we can do that. So yeah, just give me a little message underneath, and yeah, I've put a little buy me a coffee link in the bottom, you know, no pressure, but all this stuff helps, you know. helps me stay in the studio. I'm on holiday from work at the moment, so I've got a bit of extra time to do these things. But yeah, it's there. That's all I'm saying. There's a link there. If you fancy saying, there you go, there's a coffee, mate, then much appreciated, all right? Take care, peace, see you people.